Hey, what's up, Lemonheads? We are live. Great to have you on. Good to hear there's some committed people who are still willing to join us. Once again, we have our very clearly tireless leader, Jason, on with us tonight to share some of the roadmap plans. We will try and keep it concise because it's very late over there so we can get some sleep. Jason, do you have any opening comments you want to do before I pop up that graphic to show people, or how do you want to kick things off?
Yeah, look, I've been going through, I've been busy. Just went ahead and opened up the chats. I'm going to go through and clean everything up here shortly to try to condense it back down. We're trying to keep these chats all positive, but more importantly, we're trying to keep them non-cluttered so that the details in that can come out. So I'm going to probably ask Terry and that to help me since it's the time of night over here. It's not the fact that people don't have opinions. It's not the fact that people don't have their voices that we want to make sure they're also heard. But now that it's been said, we kind of just need to clean it up more for the fact that we don't want to have any distractions in that as we bring our partners on to, anything else, kind of going on in the background. Also, there is some misstatements in that and a few of them on the chat. I just want to clean everything up to make sure everything is factual, top to bottom. We have some other things that are floating around in the debt community as well. I'm going to go ahead and voice that really quick. Guys, I am debt. So understand that I am the decentralized, eco-friendly blockchain technology. I am the technology. That is me. I am not debt box. Those are two very big differences that most people think are the same thing. They're not. I am the technology. The box and that of all the products and licenses that have been sold out are done through DebtBox. Debt does support both platforms. I can tell you that because my tech is running both platforms currently today. But there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of anxiety. I'm going to tell everybody, tone it down a little bit. And we'll start there and we'll kind of show you the roadmap and that moving forward. And then I'd love to, at the end, hopefully we can grab a couple of questions. Let's try to keep it about 30 minutes. That we have about 15 minutes or so of Q&A. I think it's needed at this point. So let's go ahead and just do AMA at the end of it and go from there.
Sounds good, man. I'm glad you agree on cleaning up the group. I was just trying to let people vent a little, and then I put the group on 1 hour in between comments just to try and put a stop to it. But I'd love to just go clean it up after the fact. They got to vent and then all good. So, all right, want to get that graphic up on the screen and go through that at this point?
Yeah, let's go ahead and put that up. And I'm going to start with, we have an official graphic coming out. My designers in that are really busy right now with all of the individual projects. So this here is one that we had one of the aides just put together to help us get to something we could put up tonight. And then we'll have an official one out probably by the morning. But I wanted to make sure I lived up to the commitments, and that's getting this thing out this week. And so here we are.
Perfect. Love it. I got it up on the screen. Can you see that all right?
Yes, I can.
All right. I'll let you walk us through.
So obviously, guys, we're going to start with the vision. We've all been together in Web3, whether it was your first experience, whether it's your second, or whether you're a pro. The vision of the platform, we want to get back to our roots. We want to basically get back to a fun, a vibrant, honest, transparent ecosystem. We want to get back to a point where we can actually have civilized conversations and civilized debates. And we want to make sure that everybody is understanding that we're all family. And so obviously arguments do happen from time to time. That's totally fine, but it doesn't need to be anything that is negative 100% of the time. We can have debates and stay positive. And I'm trying to figure out how to do that is something we really want to have our vision for. The other thing is this platform is obviously about changing the lives of everyone around us. It's also about changing the world. And I think if you've had an opportunity to now watch the videos up to this point, you're going to understand that this vision goes far beyond this particular call here or the individuals in that are involved. This will change lives from individuals that I've actually been able to go eyeball to eyeball with, shake hands with, have a coffee with, have a beer with, to people that I will never meet anywhere in my life. And I think that vision needs to be in all of us, as it's about a greater good that is going on in the world. And so I've tried to lay it out really well, but that's kind of the vision that is going forth. That is the vision we wanted to start with, and that's kind of the first tier on the map. The second is, we want to make sure that people understand that we are going live. This is not something that's off far distant future. Let's get into the DApp and the app. I made a commitment that everybody will have a clear vision of what we're doing. We've laid that out, and now we're going to basically put it into motion. The DApp will be up next week. We are going to give a firm commitment that you are going to have the ability to see the light papers 72 hours before any minting is even available. And so that will give you guys the ability to go through, see what project hits you in the best light, figure out which one you want to support, which ones you don't. We are going a free model, so understand that there is no cost for the actual NFT. There is $25 mint fee. This is going to be in line with where the L1 is going to be. We're trying to get everybody in that ballpark. Understand that it will vary when it gets on the L1 based off of traffic. So it may be a varying to 22. It may be a varying up to 27. It's going to vary based off of the traffic of the L1 at the time. Currently, right now, it's going to be pegged and stay there. So it's going to be the DApp and marketplace fee of 25, but the NFT itself is free. I also want to commit to you that the app is in full motion. The app will be submitted to the App Store next week. I will tell you that Google Store gets those things approved a lot quicker than the Apple Store, but I will give you our commitment that we are on track for that, and that will actually go in. I don't know when it'll come out. So some users may get the app quicker than others based off of what platform that you are physically on. And so that's obviously step 2 in the roadmap. Third is, you're going to have a ton of light papers to start going through. Most of the tokenomics of everything we are doing is going to be very simplistic. We have now gotten to a point where we understand all the tokenomics. We understand the deflationary, we understand the half-life, we understand the hybrids, and understand that we're going to do something with Lemon that is going to be different than I ever envisioned. Everybody has been through a few of these tokenomics, which have longer time horizons. And everybody's patience is definitely getting to the point where, they want instant gratification. We are going to go ahead and listen to the base. And although I would believe that something that lasts a little longer is something that I would basically come out forth and be in favor for, the community is very clearly spoken. So we have a set tokenomics we'll be using for all projects. This will make the light papers a lot easier for people to understand. They're not going to be as confusing with 3 different tokenomics. They're going to be very clean. The only tokenomics that will be different is the actual Lemon itself. So other than that, all the L2 projects come out. It will be the hybrid vision of a half-life that will half every single quarter. It is very, very, very aggressive. It will lead to less tokens coming out on those NFTs over time. It will allow people to gather a bunch of tokens up front. It will also tell you that over the course of time, you will never be able to replace the tokens that you would have sold early, or traded out early with your friends or family. But it does put the token in circulation very quickly, and that's what we're going to need with all of the large excitement that we have coming around the L2 projects. These projects are going to be different, meaning we're going to have some in the media space, we're going to have some in supply chain, we're going to have some in hard goods, we're going to have some in tech goods. But you can basically go through, look at the business, look at the underlying project and say, yes, this sounds something that they're going to be able to monetize quickly. This is something that's already being monetized. This is something I want to support. And you just go ahead and mint the NFT, and off to the races you are, and stake it and go. The next is your minting section. So once you're on the DApp, the functionality will obviously become available just like everything you've already done before. Everybody understands how to mint. The next process is going to be staking in that directly on the platform. So you read the white paper, please read through them, then you mint them. And then you kind of look through the partners of what we're doing and what's going. So the next one is basically we have partnered with several large names, and they're going to get bigger and bigger over the course of time. I'm not sure they get much bigger than one we're going to announce fairly quickly, but they are all going to be big from different areas. We believe that this chain is going to give us the beauty of getting standard traditional companies that everybody will know in their house into a blockchain space that they can participate. Maybe it's with an arm's length transaction, maybe it's going to be very direct. But these names are going to be things that people will recognize, and it's not something that's typically traditionally done in blockchain. A lot of blockchain projects go out there and they're starting from scratch. They're starting with no revenues. They have no revenues for 2 or 3 years. They're trying to basically do building. They're trying to put something together. They're trying to put businesses from scratch to market. We are trying to stay focused on projects and partners that are already here, that already have revenues, that already have businesses, that already have user bases. Because what we're trying to do is actually get their user bases on our platform and grow it, and also put to a point where we can give their user base value in their project that they're already currently in, but also share the value of other projects and that are also on the ecosystem. So this is going to be happening and rolling out over the next several weeks. You're going to start seeing a lot of these partners. I encourage you to get very familiar with them, Google them, see what hits your fancy of saying, yes, this sounds like something I definitely want to participate in. You may not want to participate in every one of them. There's going to be a lot of them. Right now, I believe we just passed 30. And so that DApp is going to start looking very large. We're going to categorize those out into different sectors. That way, it may make it easier for you to Rolodex and that through them. Now, after you have a bunch of projects out, the next thing is I want to stick with a commitment. The commitment is there will not be a single project launched on the platform that does not get on an exchange in 90 days or less. We want to make sure that there becomes enough token in the ecosystem that you can get to an exchange. We're going to start obviously with DEX. This eventually will be our own DEX, but we will get to listing on the DEXs very, very quickly. And I want to make sure the roadmap is very cleanly laid out. It will not be longer than 90 days. A lot of projects in the Web3 space, they get you excited about hype. They get you excited about what the project is. And then they may not list a project token for a year or two. Everybody that knows me over the last 2.5 years, you obviously know that's just not how I believe crypto should be or blockchain should be. We believe that you should be able to trade these things out with your friends, your family, the open market as quick as possible. It's not us to try to hold you back from that. This is an open market. We want you to be free in that. We want you to basically be able to do whatever possible to exchange these things from one project to another and or to the open market back to a fiat or a stable or anything there. Now, the next one's critical. Mass media in the blockchain space happens in a lot of different ways. A lot of times in Web3, you have certain sectors that go all towards social media. They go through we've had a great fun time with memes to lighten the mood in the last few weeks. This is not, a meme coin operation. Memes were basically meant to try to change the mood, try to change the tenor, try to bring some fun, some light in that to take us back to our roots. That is obviously one way of mass media is getting viral with meme type projects and meme type media blitzes. Mass media here is something that I believe that the partners we're bringing on, the depth of the projects we're bringing forward, the realness of it is going to be something that is worth having traditional media take not only a first look, but a second look and a third look at us. And this is going to be very exciting because I think when when you partner with a media company, that's going to be, number one, a good way to get out there. But number two is with the underlying basis of some of the technology that we have brought into all things Lemon. It gives us our own social media platform and communication platform directly inside of our ecosystem, which also allows us to function and operate on every social media platform and give a positive spin message, help with the shares, the likes, and the comments. If you don't understand what I'm saying right now, go watch videos over the last couple of days, and you'll understand more where this mass media is going to come from. But the biggest thing with mass media is when you launch a project out, when it's not your own, and it's just a standard L2 project that wants to come online, we need to prove value to those layer twos. There's a lot of options right now in the Web3 space. You can launch a project on dozens of chains. What makes us different? We want to add value to those because we want to bring them on in masses. And that value, in my opinion, is going to be the fact that we can put tens of millions, hundreds of millions, and hopefully billions of eyes on these L2 projects. That is something that a startup company just does not have the ability to do today in Web3. Even on some of the largest platforms like Ethereum, Binance, on their layer twos, it's not like Ethereum or Binance helps advertise their layer two projects. It doesn't really bring a bunch of media to run down and assist a launching pad, quote, quote, for an L2 project. We want to be something different this way. We want to be able to put our technology to work in order to help these startup companies get their likes, get their follows up, so they actually do get organic attention. And I think that's something that we can give them a value. And by giving them value, it adds transactional volume. It adds value to their project, but then obviously will lift the price of the underlying utility tokens as they go live. And then obviously, now that we've been through DEXs, everybody wants to know, how do we get out to the masses and open up more and more markets in a centralized format? I will tell you right now, Lemon will launch on over 7 exchanges with promotional campaigns. They'll be seen by hundreds of millions throughout the branding partners. We've already targeted the first 7 exchanges. Even though the token itself is not even out yet, we're already in conversations with these exchanges to get them lined up. This is something that's very, very exciting. And I think it's going to be revolutionary in the way that a utility token is launched. And it's because we're not holding back. The partners are backing us fully. We have liquidity arrangements that are already put in place. We physically have the exchanges already on the phone. We physically are kind of giving them the 500-foot view of what we're doing. We're showing them the technology in that we are going to change the Web3 space with. And a lot of it's relationships. And those relationships have been brought to the table in order to get these conversations opened, and that this early. We are going to roll these exchanges out very quickly. So the utility token itself will go on a DEX to begin with. I have a feeling will be a minimum of 1 exchange a month for the next foreseeable future. And so this is going to be exciting for not only liquidity, but also for brand name recognition when you get going on social media like Twitter, Instagram, and our own platform. The organic basis of a lot of the blockchain communities, a lot of blockchain commentaries, the people in the know that know, the podcast. This will be something that is just different in so many ways because of how we're doing the rollout. We also want to make sure everybody has the ability to get in and out of that liquidity as quick as possible because it is our underlying utility token with everything. Therefore, as we do the media blitz, as we kind of push through, we need to be able to get those new users the ability to acquire the token, along with the ability for our users to get off the token and exchange through. Part of that exchange is actually going to be done through a few of the technologies that you guys are going to see directly on the DApp next week. And I gave Terry a visual. It is something that currently right now is going through for verbiage, but you're already going to start seeing the DApp built out. I'm going to let Terry probably post that up in the group here shortly so you guys can actually see it. these projects are here and they're going to start lining up, and you're going to see the fact this isn't just a bunch of talk. It's something that's actually being done behind the scenes. And so having these exchanges here allows every new project coming on to basically pair directly with LEM and get out through capital, no matter if you want to do it through the exchanges, or one of the projects you will see on there is LEM Pay and LEM Bank. You can do it through any three of those options. So I think by giving people the ability to have a diversification of ins and outs is very important. We will be having a traditional, I'm going to call it, crypto event. Some projects get out there and they do these huge mass events. Ripple does them quite a bit. They also go through, and Polygon has done them. Ethereum's actually done them. Binance has done them in multiple different arenas. We are going to be doing this more for a global event. Lemon will be throwing one of the largest crypto parties, I believe, in the world, and we'll basically be doing it in a very well location that may not be that far away from where I am right now. But I think this will be something that will basically say we're here. And during that event, we are going to basically announce the layer one. And we will be using that event to basically catapult off a migration off of Binance and onto our layer one. Now, the timelines for this are third to fourth quarter of this year. And I know some of you guys may be a little disappointed about me saying that. Third quarter is literally a week away. So understand, this isn't like in the future. This is like it's coming. All of these have to kind of be put in place because of how we have our group currently on the debt technology, and then moving them off this technology to the next part of the debt technology, which is a full blockchain. And so we need to get some of our L2 partners onboarded. We need to do that for speed. We need to do that, quite honestly, for the cash flow of what the layer one's going to take down the road. We need to have the transactional volume. We need to have the amount of users physically coming on there in order to support the chain. We need to have the functionality. We need to have the stakers. So we need to build something so that we can basically migrate over instead of trying to basically build a layer one with nothing to begin with and then just launching it. So this basically is our plan to put the user bases on, to put the projects on in order to have everything we need to for that layer one in the full migration. If you understand kind of how layer ones work, you need support of the community. And so we need the community to basically have the support to even launch. And so you're going to kind of see that roadmap now between now and the end of the year. I hope that kind of laid everything out for you guys in a little bit more simplistic way. And I know that now everybody's going to have a bunch of questions. So I'll open it back up to Terry, since I know he wants to be eagerly going to layer one tomorrow. But in general terms, I think this kind of lays everything out of why we have to go certain directions. Terry's also smart enough to know you need a community for a layer one, and so we're building that to get over. So.
Right. Couple quick things. One is with the app and the DApp, rather than having to wait on Play stores delaying it, can we also just get a downloadable APK file? I mean, that some of us avoid the Play stores, and that would be an easy workaround.
Yeah, so a lot of the standard functionality, you actually don't need to have a native app. So you can just use a standard MetaMask or Trust or that with these projects. The quick interchange, what the app really is going to give everybody is a one push button availability for swap and functionality, like a lot of these users have seen before in the past. And so, for me, we have a lot of users currently right now that this is their first crypto experience, or maybe their second. They're very new to the space. And so having an all-in-one app makes sense for our user base. Along with, we have major masses of adoption heading in here for crypto from a lot of the way that we're marketing and bringing people on from around the world. It will be Lemon will be their first experience in crypto. I'm going to make that very clear. We are bringing a base that is very large, that this is their first experience into crypto. So a cluttered chat that is, let's just say, not at our best, is not going to be the most conducive, friendly, open, welcoming situation for a lot of people. And so if I was a newbie looking at the chat, I want everybody to think about that the next time they open up the Lemon chat. Would I stay more than a minute? Would I stay more than 5? Would I even read anything? Or would I say this may not be for me? When I say all things lemon, it isn't trying to say lemon versus debt. It's trying to say it's an attitude. It's a feeling of getting back to our roots. So understand, I want to make sure everybody really thinks about that. We can bring the masses here. Can you keep them? That is your job. That is why you're here. That is your responsibility. And I hope that that spreads and that message spreads, because when this community comes here, I'm really hoping they go and say, look, what else do you have? And hopefully they go back over to the OG projects as well, because this community was so inviting to them that they will look at other opportunities. And even though we are two totally separate parallels, we are still a family together. And so we're going to do our part to basically bring the base. I hope you guys can help us in the mission to keep them and to keep everything lemon and to keep everything moving.
I like that. You mentioned the tokenomics would be the same for all projects. Is that just for the foreseeable future, or is that a forever thing?
No, that's for the foreseeable future. It's because
Okay.
of how many are basically running through. We will have a lot of different customizable tokenomics. Obviously, we can't do this for a lot of the L2s that have different variances, different cash flows, different time horizons. But let's just say for the next 35 to 40 that we are in talks with, they will be this one, because they are very friendly, they're close, and we're kind of walking a very tight line on timing. And so we pick something that will actually work for almost any business type. It's just going to put token out very, very quickly. Some will, obviously grow quicker than others based off of the size of the companies. It will make sense for a lot of these companies to do longer tokenomics later on. It just will. But at the short term, I guess you're all here, so get ready for the whiplash. And some of these companies are large and they're going on very, very aggressive tokenomics.
I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. When is there an ETA for when people should see the light papers?
So I actually think some will be up next week with the DApp. I don't think, actually, I know some will be up next week with the DApp. And so I don't want to put a number on it, but there will be several that will be added week after week after week after week. We have an internal goal. I'm probably not going to say that out loud, but we want these projects up because we want you guys to get through them. And we want you guys to have the ability to get excited and see what I'm seeing on a daily basis. So as we get these guys agreeing to come live and get them on, I want to make sure everybody here gets that same excitement and feeling and has the ability to at least see something tangible is coming. So you're going to have a coming soon side. Get through the light paper. You'll see it. You'll be able to feel it, taste it, touch it, and get ready for it.
Very nice. And is it a reasonable expectation that once some of these early light papers go live, that minting and staking will be live 72 hours after that, or approximately?
Yeah, so minting within 72 hours or right around that point. Staking, we're going to give 7 days from the time we basically break to minting to stake. So you basically be able to mint for 7 days. So if you start at day 1, you have 3 days to read the light paper, then you can mint, or you can wait. From that point in time, you have 7 days of minting that'll go on. At the end of that, no matter if there's 2 NFTs that have been minted out at that point, or whether there's 20,000, it won't matter. And trust me, if there's 2, you better be in this rainbow of bliss, because you're not going to get that opportunity a second time, I think, when people see it. I'm sure a lot of people remember the early good days of Black Gold, when there was only a few on, and 50, 60,000 Black Gold were kicking out every single day, and the 10X was giving you about 500,000 Black Gold a day. Natural gas, when it first kicked on, I mean, those first couple of weeks were amazing because not a lot of people are on them. Guys, if you don't see a lot minted out, that is what's going to happen. And these tokenomics are actually so much faster than those 2 projects. And so I think that goes for other projects as well. Helium did the same exact thing. If you would have been on the very first chunk and been one of the very first people out there in the Helium network, you would have created a ton of token there. And it goes back to Bitcoin. If I was a Bitcoin miner, and in the early days, my computer was kicking off 100, 200 Bitcoin a day, guys, that is just how crypto works. And so it doesn't matter. I can go through another 10. Ethereum is the same way. I can go through another 10, 15 examples. This is just the beauty of having a free society And so it's supply and demand, and eventually the demand will soar. And so those that are in first are going to have a heyday.
All right. So minting and staking and the apps and everything's going to be live very soon, friends. There you have it. I mean, that's the most important part. And I know on the media side there are two components. You've got the one where you're going out for the big, really wide casted uh, branding, mass media, getting ready for those big style public launch events. Is some of the media from, let's say, One Digital and perhaps communities from some of the other projects, are we going to see that come in sooner, and where we would be sharing in the minting and staking and all that stuff with them?
Yeah. Yes. I'm trying to build some time. It's getting harder and harder every day. I'll give you an example today. We have another crypto friendly project that actually wants to do a collaboration. It's about 1.5 million users. They already have crypto in their wallet. In fact, I've got names and addresses of their wallet to prove up the fact that they're ready to go. And they are excited as hell to get on the buying train of LEM. That is 1.5 million users that'll be on our ecosystem, and I'm hoping that we get you guys to a point where we have done a nice, easy launch pad move over for those that want to come. This is an option. This is two visions. This is something that people will have the capability to go through these light papers. Is it right for you? At that point, the soft quote, quote, transition will be over, and it will be a whiplash from then on out. And so I think I'm going to give you guys as much time as possible. It's not going to be long. And then the onboarding from the masses will just happen, and we don't have to sit back and talk about this anymore, because people will be able to see the visions, and people will be able to see, look, did Jason do what he said he's going to do or not? And it's going to be transparent as heck, because it's either going to be there or not. And I think that's the best way to say it.
I love that. Is it a safe assumption that once the DApp goes live, then the swappability of NFTs will also go live concurrent with that?
Yeah, so let me kind of explain a little bit about the swap and that. So there are a lot of different ways in that these things work. Understand, you have an NFT. You already have it. You can sell it directly on a marketplace currently right now. You can take it out. You can take that and trade it with a friend already. These NFTs are yours. We have a plan, and that will be allowing people to come over. What it really is, it's allowing people to get a free minting if they would like to go ahead and exchange out. We have something very special we're looking at doing with those NFTs that are traded in, because I want to make sure we're also giving the most value back to the community in the OG space. And I think the best way to kind of describe it is, today on Tofu NFT, I can go buy 100 current projects that are up there, 100 NFTs from the 12 projects, I should say. And I can do something very special with that. I can just go burn them. And if I just go burn them, what happens is it lowers the supply of current NFTs in the marketplace, which will increase the token distribution to everybody that is still there. So if you take that kind of mindset of giving back and helping the communities, and especially one that is so close to us, and that through, we are trying to basically build value on both sides. We're trying to build value. I'm trying to build value on both sides, guys. I'm not going to express it anymore. I am in both sides. I need both sides to succeed. I understand people are frustrated and they are venting right now. I'm choosing not to. I'm choosing just to say, I'm here, I'm running, and I think both teams will be very, very successful. And so we believe that if we can help each other in different ways, I think it will help everybody. So if you have an OG project and you see a bunch of your friends coming and doing something and taking their NFT to Tofu NFT, for instance, well, if they just want to burn it, guess what? They can do that. And by burning it, I'm going to allow you to do a free mint. If you get a free mint over here, you get something in replace for it. Didn't cost you anything, but it's going to help all your friends that are currently over there in that project, because you're going to have less tokens going per you're gonna have more tokens going per NFT that are still active and staked. So it'd be the same thing as if everybody unstaked 35, 40,000 NFTs today. What would happen? Well, you'd have a tremendous more larger value for the people that are still there. And so that is kind of the beauty of a blockchain. It's definitely the beauty of our projects, and it's definitely the beauty of a free ecosystem. Another thing is we believe in pairing. Understand that a lot of the pairings happen organically. It's actually not something that corporations do. Some people may understand this or not. I can go make 20 pairings today from any project anywhere in the world just because I want to. Welcome to a DEX and welcome to a Web3 project. So I believe it's in everybody's best interest to do a pairing. I believe it's that going to be that way because I believe the value that we can bring in LEM will help support all projects. I have made it very clear. I need, I want, I desire to support all projects. It is harder some days than others, and I think everybody has that feeling. When people are panicked, it's harder. When people have belief, it's easier. And so, trying to calm the base to a point where everybody starts having that belief again is very important to me. The ability to basically pair this and have some of the positivity run off. If we can get some positivity on the other side, positivity lists positivity, and hopefully it goes back and forth. Hopefully one day they can pair us and pull us up as well, and hopefully we can pull them up when they need it. Having a unison pairing makes a lot of sense in a lot of crypto projects. It makes more sense here than anywhere else, because if one side's succeeding, it's helping the other. And I think that is something that I'm trying to convey, and I've said that since day one. And so I think I just stay in a unison message here. There's nothing I am doing that is here to hurt any side or the other, and I want to make sure everybody here understands that. So.
Well, I love the sentiment, and it is, I think, very useful and refreshing for people to hear you kind of elaborate a little bit on that and give us some ideas about what it looks like. Along with all the minting and staking coming this week from a roadmap perspective, is it a reasonable expectation that the utility coin for the new chain will also be in that mix this week?
Yes, absolutely. And some people may like it or may not, but the light paper will be out shortly, and you'll be able to see some of the struggles we're having with launching this quickly and going to this many exchanges and going out. We need the token.
Yeah.
So just like a lot of projects that mint out, it's different than an ICO, where an ICO can take 20 or 30% of it day one and have it for their marketing, have it for their launch pad, have it for their exchanges. This is something we have to get out there because we're running. And so we did this I did this on 2 other projects. And both times we ran a short of supply, and so we have done a couple pivots on LEM because of that, and we're being transparent with the whole group of what we're doing, how we're doing it, and I think that will give everybody comfort of just laying it out right up front. And so we need that token out. We need it out quickly. So very similar to Grow, DCM. Let's just put it out there. Debt was very quick. Rev and Drip. You can kind of see those hyper activities and that rolling. This also happened with previous projects. If you've been around me long enough, I don't have to list them. This is pretty common in this space. And so, so that being said, we have that laid out in clear writing, so everybody will kind of understand what we're doing and understand the reasons for it. And again, most exchanges need 100 to 250,000 token, not dollar worth, token, in order to stay listed if you have something of this type of size on a tier 1 exchange. Tier 2 exchanges, they're easy. I mean, it's like 10, 20,000 token. They don't do a lot of volume. It's no big deal. But when you're dealing with the big boys, they demand a lot because they give a lot. A lot of these exchanges have 500,000 users, 250,000 users, up to 2 million users on some of these larger platforms. Only one has that size, but you know what I'm talking about. And so I think if we can make sure that token's here for those days that we are hoping for, and we hope these exchanges, take us on to the, call it, top three. We need the token there to say, yes, take us and let's go. So.
Well, it's good because I was of the same mindset that this rollout right now is currently impeded by the lack of volume of tokens. So I love that it's coming here and now. One more question that's pervasive that never stops hitting me in the inbox is there going to be restrictions on it? Are you open to speaking about that at this time?
Restrictions on it.
Restrictions on how many NFTs one can have on the utility token.
All right. Is everybody ready for some news?
If you want to, if you're ready for it.
Everybody may look at this, and I think your very first punch is going to be a hit in the gut, so you may not like it. And then you're going to look back and say, you know what, Jason, you're a genius. There is no limit on the utility token NFTs. And so the first year, which I hate to say it, is going to be basically partners, owners, and marketing is going to basically take the first year, but it's going to be hyper aggressive. And after that, that's going to be the first 50,000. After that, we actually don't have a limit on NFTs. They're going to go live. So you can basically mint them as fast as you can mint them, but the app itself and the mintability is going to be based on the wallet. So we are going to slow it down to make sure we don't have huge whales come in and get them early. Some people may like this idea, some people may not. You're going to be basically limited. What we're looking at rolling out right now is one NFT per project per day. And we've tried to deal with the V boxes coming over. It's something that it's not going to happen for multiple reasons. We've looked at it. We have them currently staked right now with other project tokens on the previous platform. We'll call our sister or brother platform. And so it's not functionally possible. I wish it was. So what we are doing here is we're not going to have any type of staking to get. I'm trying to have an easier path forward. I like the staking, by the way. I'm a huge staker fan. We're going to basically have that type of option available at the L1, and it's only a few months away. So I think if we basically just say, great, right now, limit everybody. So if you come on every day, your app will tell you have mintings available. It'll pop up with a nice little notice. You can go in there and say, look, there's 30 available. You don't have to do any. You can basically just say, I'm not going to do any today. Or you can say, look, I want more of these. I think LEM is going to be one that most people will say, I'm going to want some of, especially when it's the gas on the L1, because it'll help you guys later on transferring tokens. It'll help you guys later on with your costs and your fees. But also the worldwide is going to want them for the same exact reason. And so I hope that answers your question. So yeah, no limit other than the time frame it's going to take you to get them.
Okay, I like that. And then I know that's another question that just never stops coming up. So it'd be great if we could just tackle it right now. Is the utility NFT also going to be free plus minting fee? That's first question, part A. And part B, is there a restriction from which of the swapping NFTs come over? AKA, can I swap a NatG for a LEM utility NFT?
Okay. Two-part question. Yes, there will be a limit on the free swaps for the donation. A debt would be for a LEM. Other than that, there's no restrictions in that coming over. I have good news, and that is it's $25 mint and it's free. And so bad news and good news. I'm trying to give you guys a little bit of mixed bag, but this is a free ecosystem. This is something that we are trying to really prove our roots. When I say we're coming back to roots, this is about giving away to the world. This is probably the most pure project I've thought about, because at the end of the day, it's free from the beginning. Instead of building something to set it free later, guys, I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I'm giving it away now. And we have different functionalities, different ways to monetize. Everybody says, well, how can you do this? I can get into the basics of it, but bottom line is there's a lot of ways that we are going to monetize you guys throughout this process. It doesn't need to be day one when you're coming in. The apps, the technology, have a great way to do this down the road, and we will have certain tasks for certain individuals to do. It's all optional. You don't have to stay. You don't have to operate them. But I think this is going to be something that if we gamify this system to a point where we are incentivizing people to do certain activities, and it is giving us huge value as a corporation and a huge value for the longevity, then why do I need to slow the process of growth down? I can also tell you this is why this ecosystem is going to grow so quickly, because the cost of entry is nothing. And so this is going to be something different, and it's going to be something fun. And again, I put a smile on your face. I see it right now. You're coming through. But understand, I don't know of any other crypto project in the world that's launched and said, "Oh, by the way, it's free," and so we get to have fun here, and we get to have huge names with it. But if you think Instagram's free, you're kidding yourself. If you think TikTok is free, you're kidding yourself. I could talk about any social media platform in the world. You're kidding yourself. It's a huge monetizing factor, and this will be no different. We're just going to monetize you in a different way, and I hope you're okay with that, and I hope you have fun with it. And I will also tell you, Terry will tell you this. I'm a very private guy, but we can monetize you in a way that is comfortable, in a way that you're not being exposed. But we need to be able to collect that money somehow. We're just going to do it in a way that doesn't come out of your pocketbook.
Yeah, that's fantastic, man. I'm loving everything that's happening and everything you're saying. Jay, another quick question. Since we don't currently have a utility token, are us, let's call it retail users for the sake of a parlance, are we also going to be staking the tokens and ergo creating the ability to mint and stake NFTs, or is that slightly different here?
So the utility token will be available rapidly. Okay. The utility token will have to be purchased over a third-party exchange, a DApp, via USDT or BNB. Those would be the two. It'll be the only project we do that way, just so you're crystal clear. Other projects to pay the fee will have to be done in the utility token day one. So everything in this ecosystem is going to run on the utility. We're going to just start that way. We're going to keep that way. And you're going to see very quickly on how many of these underlying projects are going to start gobbling up LEM very, very quickly. We have masses coming. You know my goal. My goal is massive. And trust me, my partner says a bit much bigger. My goal is 30 to 50 a month. I thought I was nuts. One a day, 1.5 a day, and I've heard now 1,000 a month, and that actually came from someone else, but he heard it from my partner. So understand it was said. It was definitely something that was said, and it's definitely his goal. And I look back and said, maybe I need to, I run 100 to 200 miles an hour. And I guess at this point in time, I'm going to have to say, I guess I got to run 500 miles an hour to keep up. There's a couple of memes that show that, and it's very true. So.
Very, very cool. Well, I'm loving everything you're saying. And it's just, it's thrilling to be able to have the app live, having a lot of things coming live, the utility token finally going live. That makes everything feel very tangible, very real. Seeing light papers, websites, being able to mint and stake. I mean, this is all super real and quick. And I just love the way you guys are sticking to that commitment to get it out as fast as possible. Does this week include the Lemon Bank and Lemon Pay, since that's been mentioned a few times, and that would help with a lot of onboarding, offboarding issues?
Yes, both of those actually are ready, which is great. We probably will release one before the other, just because I got to have stuff to tell you every week. So, because we're not going to be doing a lot of onboarding next week, it's more going to be getting the information out, getting the DApp up. I'm going to hope to basically just leave that for the following week, so I have some other things to tell you about. But it may be late week because we do know that a lot of people are going to need some time to do some of the transitions. And so I think it could be as early as Friday. It could be something fun, or I'll wait till the following week just to basically have something to keep you guys busy, because you guys are pretty demanding on everything. And here says, Jason, you're not working hard enough. I want to point out 4 o'clock in the morning, and I haven't gone to bed, and I've been up since 7. So, but It's
Well,
fun.
I'm loving it, and I'm sure everyone's ready. Exciting things like LemPay and LemBank just solve so many problems in crypto. So yeah, as soon as we can get that out, that'd be fantastic. And yeah, it'd be still very cool if we can get those things as downloadable APK files. That would be super cool. All right, I know it's super late. People are always going to have questions, but friends, you heard it here. You heard a great roadmap. We see a very tangible, very near time frame that should make you thirsty for some celebratory lemonade. It is Friday night after all, and even superstars need some sleep. So Jason, we appreciate you so much. We're excited to see maybe the more elaborate version of this tomorrow. As you said, we'll just stay tuned for that, and we're excited about it. Thank you so much again for sharing your time and staying committed to your deadlines for everyone. It means a lot, especially in times of uncertainty.
Yep, we're here, and again, it is late. I'm probably going to kick it to 5, maybe 10 minutes. I'm going to actually clean up the chat quite a bit.
I'll take care of that for you. I got it. I
We-
just wanted to make sure that your wishes were being honored, that you wanted people to have a voice and not be censored. But after the fact that they got to vent, I'm good with helping clean up if you want.
I want to make sure people have a chance to vent. I want to make sure that we have a chance. Terry, you're great at this as well. Venting to get education is fantastic. And so I believe that they're venting because they just don't understand something, no matter what project they're in. It doesn't matter. I want to give them the time so that we can kind of kick back and do it. But after that, let's go ahead and clean up. A heads up. We already have people in our chat that are looking. So understand this is not something that's going to happen the next 2 weeks. It is happening every single day. You may or may not know they're there, but they are there, and we're pushing people there. So understand from new ecosystems, from new networks, from new possibilities, they're already trickling in. So whether they stay or not is up to you. Keep it clean, keep it fun, keep it fresh, and keep it lemon.
Sounds great. I'll clean up more after the fact going forward also, as well. So I'll definitely help out on that front. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate your time very much, Jason. Have a great night. I'm going to sign out here before anyone can hit you with another question. Have a good night, my friend. Get some sleep.